All right. So Judy sent a message and she said that she would like to say sorry that she didn't know that she won't be here today with us, and because she didn't know that herself until the last minute. So she's apologize to everyone for didn't give the notice. And we got a big group. I'm so glad to be here with everyone. And like usual, we're going to have 30 minutes of sitting. And because right now, I would like to invite all of you to start to meditate and cultivate the calm and cultivate the calmness and loving kindness in your heart. And from there, you can feel the surrounding with you. So please sit comfortably and start to listen. During the sitting, you can open your eyes or you can close your eye. It's up to you. It's not a problem at all. But I will do a little bit different than Trudy, that I will turn on the music. And with the music, I would like everybody to just try to pay attention to hearing and feel the feeling that arise in your body, in your heart. And just like that, once a while, I will talk a couple of sentences to remind you to come back to the present moment, to the body or to the heart. Okay? Take a deep breath. You know that you breathe in or breathe out. Just relax. Relax the body. Relax the mind. What the knowing mind knows right now? Is that a sound? Is that a body sensation? Is that a feeling? Whatever that is, let it be. Feel the sensation. Know there's hearing happening. Just relax. And even if you cannot relax, it's okay too. Let it be. Be awake, aware, alert, but gentle. Right now, right here, this very moment. How do you connect that with the space around you? What scent doors the mind attended? Breathing in, know that you're breathing in. Breathing out, know that you're breathing out. Sound is happening, hearing is happening, touching is happening. If liking is arising, recognize that. If disliking is happening, recognizing it. If thought arises, just come back to your neutral object, like sensation, rising and falling in your abdomen, the body movement, the hearing, the touching, or even the feeling right now. Whatever feel you feel right now, just rest in the moment. Every time thoughts arise, come back to the body and know what is happening. Let the body do the job and the mind do its own job. Your job is seeing if the awareness is in the present moment. How do you know that awareness is there? By recognizing what is happening in the body, in the mind. Ask yourself, am I aware? What am I aware of? Is there awareness? Is it still there? Gently bring it back in the body. If you feel sleepy, you can open your eyes, or you can stand up, or you can ask yourself a question. But if you feel so sleepy, it's okay too. Just recognize this is how the mind right now. Tired, sleepy, that's okay. Your job is recognition what is happening in the body, in the mind, in the feeling. Meditation is cultivate good quality of the mind. It's a process of learning about nature, the reality. So in nature, there's no rule. Whatever happened because of condition is enough. Things happen. So it's okay. In reality, there's no time, no place, no form, no color. So even you be there by yourself, but actually the quality that in your heart right now is the same with the quality in all of us, in the whole world, in the whole universe. The quality itself is not yours. You are connected. We are connected. Is awareness still there? Is the body relaxed? Is the mind relaxed? Any moment that you recognize the present moment, you are awakened person, awakened being. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be concentration, penetrate, whatever it is, just let it be. Do not control it. You don't need to fix it. The mind can think about form, time, color, but all of that is just thoughts. The storyline can be yesterday, tomorrow, but the thought is arising at this very moment. Breathing in, know that breathing in. Breathing out, know that breathing out. Are you still aware? What are you aware of?
Continue to remind yourself to be relaxed and recognize the obvious. If the awareness can only pay attention to one object, that's okay. If it can recognize more than one object, that's okay. The object is not important. The important is the awareness is in present moment. The mind come back to the home, the body, the feeling, all itself. In Vipassana meditation, there's only 6 objects: eyes, ear, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, feeling, body sensation, and the mind. You can put the attention to any one of them or all of them.
depend on the level of the awareness. There's no good, no bad. There's no better, no worse. Only cause and effect. At this moment it's like this, the next moment it will be different. So it's okay. Good is okay, bad is okay. In the awareness itself, there's no good, no bad. No young, no old. No more, no less. No tomorrow, no yesterday. Just purely knowing. How's the mind feel right now? If it's bored, recognize boredom. If it's agitated, recognize the agitation. If it's relaxed, recognize relaxation. Whatever that is, it's just the condition at the moment. Right now, it's just like this. Meet your experience gently. Don't fix it, don't change it. Just meet with it the way it is. The body can be tired, pain, irritation, uncomfortable, but the awareness just don't have anything in there. Purely knowing. Recognize the condition in the body. What is the flavor of your meditation, your awareness? Is it relaxed? Is it gentle? Is it kind? Or it just is? If there's sound, recognize there's sound. If there's no sound, recognize there's no sound. The hearing is still happening. So, is the same format. What Judy leading is come to another 20 minutes or 30 minutes of talk, Dharma talk. And I feel easier if you don't understand anything and you just raise your hand and ask the question, and then stop, I answer your, and then by the end of it, I repeat myself, and then the end of it, then we will have Q&A session. Is that okay? So like everybody knows, in the meditation, there's two aspects. One is awareness, and two is the object that awareness aware of. So in Buddhism, we know that the three marks of resistance is anatta, impermanent, and dukkha. So dukkha is unsatisfaction. Anatta, impermanent is impermanent. Everybody knows is unsatisfaction, and impermanent, the anicca. But not many people talk about the anatta, the non-self, the Dharma. So, and when you meditate, not only the two aspects of awareness and the object, but when we aware, we need to aware with right view, which is anatta. So this anatta is also ideal because right now we do not have that yet. we on the path of come to that understanding. So right now it's just an idea. It's an information, that the insight that Buddha discovered, and he gave it to us. And why is so important in meditation? The reason is so important because everybody know that when we meditate, or even in the language that we use, we always say me, my, I. I am a yogi. I am meditation. So I am aware. So it's always aware. It's like this body is me, mine. And what I'm doing, whatever the mind is doing, is that what I am doing. But in the reality, it's just momentum, the condition, one after another. So when there's less example, right now, you're looking at me, you don't think about your food, right? So, but the moment I'm talking about food, immediately the mind think about it. So it means it's only condition happen. Either you contact with your sender, like hearing or smelling or seeing or touching, then the mind arise that being object or idea or opinion. But when that condition is not met, then the mind doesn't have that. So that's why we say it's not yours. If it's yours, then I say, okay, don't think about banana. Can you not thinking about banana now? No, right? When I'm saying, don't think about monkey. Can you not thinking about monkey now? No, right? So it's not yours because it's conditional. When the sender contact with the object, immediately it's processing and it's coming up like that. Saying that does not mean that we reject that this is Lien Chi Tran, this is Vietnamese, this is women. It's not like that. It's just the view that when you're aware, just like a scientist, when they looking at the process, they just take that as information. They're collecting information. Then they can understand without bias. But when you be aware and you do not, you always think, oh, let's say I am going to be concentrate in this moment. And that when you controlling it and you think that you are control the meditation, then when it's not the way you like it, then you will agitate it. So the key of Vipassana is when you meditate what flavor that you meditate with, the view that you're looking at it. Let's say is a person practice with samatha, the concentration. Their object, their goal is to still the mind. So they only use one object and they look in it again and again and again. But in Vipassana, we do not try to concentrate because when you concentrate, the mind doesn't work. And when the mind doesn't work, the mind cannot process. And when we want, the goal of Vipassana is to understand. When you have wisdom, when wisdom in the present moment, wisdom make the choice. How would wisdom think? How wisdom make choice? How wisdom solve the problem? So in order for wisdom to arise, you need to have enough information. Just like just like weatherman. Every day he collecting data. Like today, Monday, April 18, 10 o'clock, the weather's like this. 10:15, the weather like this. So it's collecting data. A whole bunch of data is become information. So the spring, it will be like this, 3 months. And then so a whole bunch of information is become a knowledge. A whole bunch of knowledge is become a wisdom. So because they collect one data, it doesn't make any difference. So that's the reason why when we sit or when we walk or every moment during the day, we just keep knowing the moment because we're collecting data. And each data, the sim doesn't do anything, but actually that's the act of learning. And learning is the character of wisdom. Vipassana is using awareness to cultivate the wisdom. And when you cultivate enough condition, there's a lot of things come to the mind. The mind just like the river. Every single drop in there make a whole body of the water in the river. So each drop, it can carry its own character. So whatever character is strong in the moment, that would lead into it. Let's say a whole day, you've been walking and thinking and talking. Of course, by the end of the day, when you sit down, your mind is just working so fast because that momentum, right? So when you have momentum like that and you feel irritated, you don't like it, then you make it even worse because you think you can control it. But when you have the right view, which is like non-self, then you know this is the condition, this is the process. Just like so much of water like raining, then of course we have flood, just like that. So in order to get from one side to the other side, we have to go slowly. From 100 miles per hour, we have to make it stop 80 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, and then to zero. So this swing back and forth until we come to the middle point. That's when the stillness happens. Because, and why we want to be in present moment, we need to collect data because that was them, okay? And then why we want to be in present moment? We want to be in present moment because a habit of the mind is thinking about the past or thinking about the future. So the more, it's just the condition that when we was born, nobody, even in the Buddhist country, nobody teach you like, okay, when you think, you need to know that you are thinking. The mind is working this way. No, they just keep telling you that, what are you thinking about? Planning and then doing that. Planning mind, the mind just keep thinking, but awareness can also watching the thinking mind working over. But we don't know that. We just think and we become a thinking. So we think that we think, and then we want to control the thinking. And then when the thinking is getting momentum, we don't like it. So that's the reason we learn with collecting the data. And by bringing the mind come back to present moment, then that make the mind stay, not get lost in the story like past and future. By doing so, and another thing that why the mind keep thinking back and forth like past and future, because think about it, when we was born, the whole society teaching us, this is me, this is my house. So when we have the idea of identify a person, then we are that idea, I'm not saying it's not helpful, it's helpful, it's a tool, but we use it to the point that now the tool become control us. So we think that the mind thinking that way is mean that me, this body, this thought. So the character of the delusion taking control of past and future. So when you bring back to the present moment, the delusion, it just don't have a chance. You're not suppressing it. You're just recognizing it, but you don't pour more energy into it. So it won't get bigger. Now, because you stay in present moment, every single time the momentum is go back and forth, bring back it to present moment. And with the idea of non-self, it's not me. That's the idea, that's information, helping the mind accept whatever condition in the mind, in the heart, or in the body. Not accepting like, okay, I'm accepting I'm very sleepy right now. It's not like you accept and you cannot accept it. Oh, I'm so excited. I need to learn. I need to concentrate, but I cannot concentrate. So it's not that kind of acceptance. It's acceptance is mean let it be the way it is, and you just recognize the presence of that quality in the present moment. And because you do not give the chance for delusion at work, it means you give the chance for wisdom arise. So when wisdom arise, you truly told me that in this group, there's a lot of people have a long-term practice. So if anything I say that is too basic, then forgive me for those who are long-time practitioner. And for those who just practice, anything I say that too much and you cannot understand that, no problem. All teacher will talk the same thing again and again and again. And believe it or not, Google knows so much nowadays. So you can go back to Google and ask Google. So being present moment, it just gives the mind a chance for wisdom to arise. And a lot of people think that you meditate to have loving kindness or flexibility or all the good quality in the mind and heart. But the trueness is not because of that. Like we people think that when we happy, we have to have something to do like that. Let's say, oh, you smile or you laugh because something funny or something beautiful or something make you satisfied. But actually, there's a happiness when the delusion is not there. The greed is not there. When the mind just stays still, that happiness can be, but not many people in the society telling us that there's not another kind of happiness that not require anything except for the greed, the anger, not in the sin, not in the present moment. So when we meditate, we stay in present moment. The mind does not worry or about the future, not remorse for the past, then it just stayed still. At the beginning, at very this moment, like right now, you don't think of anything. Would the mind have anything in there? It's just knowing, right? Right at this moment. But if you think of, oh my God, on the stove, I have something on the stove, I need to turn off the stove right now. Then the mind worry about that, right? So when you think, the mind has that a whole process. There's form, there's color, there's name, there's picture, all of that. It's make the mind either think of the past or think about future. So when the mind stays still, then it's just be that stillness is give you so little of release from the pull and push of the mind habitual. So when we talk about condition, we talk about the condition that in the moment. We not talk about condition of I don't know, I don't know about meditation, so I cannot do it like everybody else. No, we're not talking about that condition. Like right now, everybody worry about COVID, everybody worry about this and that. It's not that society condition, the condition in the body or the mind. And the time is just so tiny, it's just like that. The moment you recognize whatever happened in Six Sense, that moment you have peace. And Vipassana is collecting moment by moment, just like scientists. We're collecting gold, dust, little by little, moment by moment. And so if you can meditate with non-self or Dharma view, like nature processes, not you, not mine. With that kind of view, you have awareness, you have your object, just the body or the mind, feeling. The feeling is also in the mind, in Dharma. And then your continuity, moment to moment. I can guarantee with you that all that little dust, golden dust, it will become a big piece of gold. And you can feel that. And I'm sure that all of us know that. So that's why you spend a wonderful Sunday morning and come here and sit with the whole Sangha, right? But it's just, I do not know. It's the first time for me to be here, so I do not know most of people here, and I don't know what level or what question or what information that you have to start your path. So I'm just giving you a very basic things that I myself still practice like every day. First, have right view, which is non-self. It's not you, not yours. It's nature. Second, awareness. And third, continue to have awareness and right view. Basically, repeat 1 and 2. So every moment, if you can continue this, and just like the way we said earlier, we just recognize whatever happened in the body and the mind with a relaxation. It's like you come and meet your experience, whatever it is. Every time you come and meet your experience, gentle like that, without any idea or expectation, just recording it, just collecting data like that. The time get bigger and bigger, moment to moment, and then you become a awakened being. So now it's time for anybody have question. And I don't know, is that Kathy, how we do that? Is that like type in the question or people will speak up?
You can either raise your little blue hand, which is either down in your reactions or in your participants, depending on which level of Zoom you have, which version. So if you raise your little blue hand, then we'll call on you and you can unmute yourself and you can actually, talk and ask your question. If you don't want to be, if you don't want to speak, you can also put your question in the chat. Oh, I froze.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
I think I froze, but you can also put your question in the chat if you would rather not raise your hand and speak.
Okay, so anybody have question? Welcome to have a question. I need to move it closer so I can see it.
Dira, is that your name?
Yes, you can call me Dira, you can call me Elsie, call me Linji, whatever you like. It's
Elsie. Elsie maybe is easier for me to handle. Yeah. I don't have a question particularly, but I just wanted to comment on the experience this morning because I'm so happy you are here to lead us this morning. And it's a change from Trudy, which is always an interesting event in our lives where something we expect doesn't happen. And I had 2 experiences in your style and your leadership that were different than I've ever had with Trudy. One was, as you were talking about the mind moving at 100 miles an hour and slowing it down and slowing it down, I suddenly remembered my first Buddhist teacher that I haven't thought about in 40 years. This was back in college. And he said, he had an image for Buddhism. He said, what we're trying to do in Buddhism is we take a glass and it's swirling with dirt in the water in the glass. And what we want to do is just take the spoon out and let the glass become still and settle. And all the dirt will settle at the bottom of the glass. And then we'll have clear glass, clear mind, clear awareness. And first, I just want to say it was so fun to think of that again. And somehow your leadership got me to that memory, which was so beautiful because it was my first understanding of Buddhism. It was beautiful. The second one was very mystical. You have a lot of discussion of ideas and things, but with your music and the water sound, which is very different than Trudy. My brain didn't know what to do with it because it's not what we normally do with Trudy. And my brain was going, what's the sound? What's this water? And first, the music became the crib for my son when he was 1 year old in the crib. And I used to sit by his crib and it was just timeless. It was just quiet moment with a baby child with no distractions, no needs. And it was a beautiful thing to be with the child. And the next thing very mystical was the water started making everything very timeless. I lost track. It was like the water took me back in time before I was born and after I was born. And then I kept thinking, am I thinking too much? And I said, no, it's just mystical. Just let it go. So it was very fun, very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, not exactly the same thing my first teacher teach me too. When I started meditate, I was only 4, I think it's 4 years old. He have a bottle of apple juice, or I don't know what juice, I don't remember. He shook it and he put down on the table and he said, that you. So it's like when all that things pop, it's like come down, then that's how you see the clear water. So that's my first lesson of meditation. Second thing, I didn't know that music is bringing you more thinking. I'm sorry. I was thinking like using the more music to make everybody be connect with the hearing more than that. So, but anyway, you like it, then that's good. No problem.
Hi,
Hi, Jim.
hey, Kathy just texted me and said she's having trouble with her internet. So I'm just going to jump in and help the best I can. I usually just stand by and record this and put it up on YouTube. But anyway, whoever's wanting to jump in next, just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes.
Am I getting?
Hi.
Hi. I have to say, this is my first time, and I thought the music was, especially this kind of music, was was a help. It wasn't too intrusive, but years ago I would meditate at the Zen Center of Los Angeles, which is downtown, and you would meditate, and then you would hear gunshots, and then you would hear police sirens, and you were supposed to keep on meditating. So the music the music blocked out. I don't know where you are, but there might have been auto horns and things, and that didn't happen. So the music was a plus. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Meredith, and I'm happy to meet you.
Yes.
And thank you for the meditation. I had mixed feelings. The music for me was, the music and the water together reminded me so much of sitting in my acupuncturist's office or, waiting room. And I thought, well, this is very annoying. And then I began to remember why I was there. And I mean, I was very sick and hadn't known it, and they helped me so much. And so I went along with that, you know, and it was so long ago, and it's amazing that I had the money. And I was so glad somehow I had the money for it. The music sometimes sounded like conversation without getting the words. You know, it was like people babbling. Yeah, I just heard it that way. And sometimes the music reminded me of walking through an amusement park that was empty. And, you know, I had this really sad, lonely feeling. And I am actually grieving my childhood. So I thought, well, yeah, okay. And then sometimes, oh yeah, I also had the same experience of, I don't know how long ago, 50 years ago, something like that. You know, my first introduction to being taught Buddhism, a teacher, blackboard, this, you know, the object, the awareness of the object. It was like exactly the same thing. And again, it was, I felt, you know, wow, that was a long time ago. And I was sometimes a little irritated by, you know, all this, you know, talk about the basics. And then eventually I felt like, oh, thank God, the basics, this is great. You know, they're very cohesive. And I don't think that way so much, you know, I don't think about like, oh, basic Buddhism, I'm going to sit down, you know, and practice. Maybe I don't think about the base, or, you know, keep an awareness of the basics. It used to just seem academic. And I think now it would be much more fruitful, or, you know, useful to me and beneficial to me, because I could put it together better or differently. And I'm proud of you for doing this for the first time. I think that's fabulous. I do. Yeah, I really do. And then sometimes it was all just too much, you know, distracting. And then I turned off the sound, no offense, I mean, sorry. So I could listen, you know, the way I'm used to listening, but which is, you know, without so much. But I just appreciate, you know, here you are, you just did this, and see how it goes, you know. So thank you so very, very much. I really, really benefited very much. Thanks a lot.
Can I have question like to everyone about when the music turn on, do you recognize that the mind have some kind of interest or disinterest? So the process between hearing and thinking and then feeling, does anybody have that? Seeing that?
Yes.
Yes. A whole bunch of people time in. Yeah. Yes.
I loved the music. It was just, I don't know if that was your question. You had a question, and I don't know if I didn't understand what you asked.
So my experience with the sound was the sensory. It gave us focus on the sensory mechanism versus the thought mechanism for me, and being able to focus on the music and water. And then of course I'd go off into philosophical thoughts about the water and the music, but returning to that place of experiencing the senses in their truest, pure form. It was wonderful. I also have a question about temple, being at the temple, and what that is like.
Can you repeat the question?
Well, you said that you've been training at the temple.
Yes.
How
does that?
You could expand on that.
In Asia, in Vipassana Theravada tradition, that you allow to become a nun or a monk for The shortest is 24 hours, and the longest is doesn't matter how long you want to be. As long as you announce that you are an ordained person, then you follow the rule, like the precept. And if you don't want to follow that much precept, then you just disrupt. And in Asia, they have a tradition that you come to the temple and stay there. You don't have to be ordained like nun or monk, but you stay there and practice like everybody. In the West, we have retreat time, like come like certain time, 10 day, 3 day, 1 day or something. In Asia, all the temple is 24/7. There's no start, no end. Whenever you come in, that's your the time of your retreat. And when you go out, that not end. You continue to bring that practice home with you. So when you come to the temple, you can stay there and follow the rule over there, like wake up at 3:30 in the morning, practice, just walking and sitting, walking and sitting. If on the full moon, then you have somebody come to give you a talk. If there's no full moon, then you just practice, nobody say anything. And if you have question, then you just go to the meditation teacher and ask for the review. That's all.
I just wanted to share that I loved that meditation with the music and the little sweet higher notes of it was like a keyboard or a piano. And it was so simple and it was flowing. I often feel that I have keys within my body and also chords. And whatever is going on the outside happens, it'll strike a certain chord or a certain key. And that music, it like invited me to feel this sense of ease and innocence and sweetness. It was an invitation. It was not at all you have to listen to the music. And then the water, of course, was just wonderful. And when you started sharing, I thought of Thich Nhat Hanh, and I love him so, so much. And I think I read in your bio, that was your first teacher. Was that for your first teacher? I mean, everything he says works for me. You know? I can be in the worst place, and just listening to Thich Nhat Hanh, I can shift. And I don't know how he does it. He's a master in that way, right? So thank you so much. You're just beautiful.
Does anybody recognize that the music is getting smaller, and like softer and softer and softer, and then the end of it? And the next question is, when you recognize the music stop, how do I react to that?
It's sort of like
okay.
Support was taken away.
Yes, I can hear you.
It's the music, you know, was a support in a way, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. So more of the work is thrust back on you. I mean, you have to generate the awareness yourself and not just go with the flow of the music. Well, that's also good.
That's awesome. That's what we need to, that's what the whole point of it. The point is cultivate. I listened to a couple talk, Judy talk before I come to the group sitting today. And it seemed like Judy loves to cultivate the, in most of her talk that I have read, she has so many, I couldn't read or I cannot listen all of that, but a lot of them, she mentioned about joy and kind and love. So I'm thinking like, there's no way I have a lovely voice like her or the way using words like her. So using a music is much easier than to cultivate, to revolt that kind of sensation, that kind of feeling in ourselves. But at the same time, I like to let everybody know that there's a changing in the process. And I was hoping, and yes, thank you for recognizing it. Like, not only the music is changing, the sound changing, but it's also how the mind reacts to that. That whole thing is the whole point of my, the music is on today. Like every day, you can bring this back to your daily life. Like right now, hearing is happening, right? How your mind like touching that, how that relate to your experience right now. You recognizing that, you collect let the awareness collecting information, data, and that's how you learn, right? So thank you. Does anybody else have somebody say that is the value lower?
Did the water get lighter too at the end? So
Yes.
I thought, yeah, I don't know if you can hear, but I always have water. I have an aquarium, and it's the most soothing sound. Yes. I think it's so much about the flow of life and really embracing that. And sometimes, you know, allowing the water to shower over us, but then sometimes being the water.
Yes.
And it's very fluid and very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for jumping in. I lost my thing, so I jumped on another computer. So I'm not host now. So once you talk, if you could remute yourself, I can't mute you. And also, I just wanted to say, it's funny, whenever I'm trying to meditate, if I'm very stressed or busy, I have some music that I play, and I always feel like I'm cheating. Like I always think, oh, this is when I can't mellow out, then I'll play this beautiful piano music that will help me breathe. So it was beautiful to have it introduced from a teacher, because I always feel sort of like I'm cheating when I do that. So thank you.
I'm glad it worked for you.
This is Meredith again. I'd just like to suggest,
yes,
or what came to mind when you said that you couldn't speak as the way Trudy does, and you called it beautiful, and you know, I would like to suggest that that's not true.
Thank you.
Yeah, certainly. You have your own beauty, yes. And it's not determined by your vocabulary.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm well aware of my accent.
And Dharma.
Even so, you do have a strong accent, but even so, I would love to hear something that just you. I would, and I'm completely sincere, you know.
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course.
I could jump in. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So this is my first experience of meditation in a group for a long time. I have been trying to do it myself, or you know, with instructions from somebody else who does it. But it was nice doing it in a group. And I think that helps. Well, this will sound weird, but I realized, okay, I'm old, I'm 79, and we have been living an isolated life because of the COVID and because I've retired. So this was, in a way, a social experience, and it helped. And thank you for that. I must admit, well, okay, forgive me if I'm encroaching on something. I had no trouble with your actually, Asian teachers tend to have accents. I mean, my God, the chasm between Vietnamese and English is huge, and English has all of this extra stuff like articles and verb tenses. So you did fine, but I was kind of wondering, what is your native language, Vietnamese?
Yes, I came here when I was 22 years old. Yes, 21 years old. Yes, and I'm a shy person. I don't know why I become a teacher when I'm so shy. I don't like to have attention. So I didn't talk for like my first 7 years when I came to America.
Well, you're doing fine. And,
thank you.
I want to call on Craig Lewis. I see you've had your hand up.
Yes.
Unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was beautiful. The meditation was talk was amazing. So thank you. I did have a question. I'm just curious what sort of advice you would have on or what tools you use when you're switching perspectives from an I perspective to more of the observer, non-self perspective. You know, when you're meditating, when you kind of come across that I, the me, when you're meditating, and how any advice you have on how to sort of shift to that observer role.
I do not understand. Can you repeat it? Because the sound is like cracking in the middle. So
Sure. Basically, if you could talk a little bit more about switching perspectives from I, me, to the non-self perspective, to observing.
Yes, yes, because when you meditate, just like anything when we do since we was born until now, we always have the idea that this being is one identity, a person. So when we do, if we don't have that, how do you protect yourself from danger, right? So it's very useful. But when it's come to learning, just like scientists, like you need to have no bias in the way you learn the process. So when you take out the idea, the opinion that this is me, and you can see the mind, let's say, just like I was teasing all of you, just a couple of minutes ago, not a couple of minutes ago, but like earlier, like, can you not thinking about banana when I'm saying banana? So you see, when you don't look like I'm not controlling, I'm not the one who see it, but see it from the view of non-self, then you can see like, you hear that, the ear hearing that, and you have like perfect mind, and you process, you know what banana is, and immediately, because of that condition, the image, so you know what banana when you was grow up, so that image just pop in your mind. And then when you hear, so hearing, touching the sound, the mind processes it, and it's become the image in your mind. So completely, the whole process is have nothing to do with me or mine. You think the same, the other person think the same. Even if I'm saying banana in Vietnamese will think the same. So condition happen, and there's a cause and effect. It's nothing to do with American or Vietnamese, a man or a woman or an old person or a young person. So that's what it means by non-self. Everything happened by condition. So let's say you sit for a long time and your body aching. Is that because of your body aching, or is that it's just the condition? You sit a long time and the body ache. That's all. So right. So just same with my teacher used to say this funny thing, but I think it's so true. Why the body aching? He said, and I said, everybody answered, oh, because I'm old, because I have this illness or that illness. But he said it's so simple, because there's a body, so that's why aching happen. So it just make totally sense. If you don't have it, you don't worry for it. So anything, if something happened, this happened because of something else already happened. So the cause and effect, that cause and effect is a process by itself. It's a nature. That's why it's called non-self. And why do we need a non-self when we meditate? Because we want to see it without bias, just like scientists. If just you know that all the surgeons, they're not allowed to do the surgery for their family, like immediate family, because they don't want to have the emotion involved into that, right? So let's say if you think that, okay, I'm not biased, I can just be aware by myself, let's try this. When you was kid, you throw in your clothes on the floor, or you taking something out and don't put back in that place, and your mom like nagging at you, or your dad or your sister nagging at you, put back in the place, was you upset? Yes, you was upset. But let's say now when you become a parent or at least adult, somebody take your stuff and don't put it back, was you upset? Yes, you was upset. Why? Because you condition it. You condition that I told you many times, why don't you do it? But when you change your view, so that one view, that because you believe that I told you many times, do it, and you don't do it. So, and you don't see all the things. Let's say I grow up in the family with 7 children. It's absolutely, it's almost time, so I will finish it quickly. Absolutely, that whenever you do something, you have to put it back to wherever it is, and very organized. So I'm become, it's my habit. I was raised become very nice. My ex-husband, he just like take whatever he took, he just don't put back to that one, the place. So I'm always upset about it, but I'm mindful, see how the mind think about it. And one day I can see that I'm just doing it, and without knowing, I'm still complaining. The mind still complaining. Why are you doing that? I'm telling you so many times. Can you just be mindful about it? But actually, I am working on a habit condition myself. So it's not only him can be conditioned. I am conditioned too. So I'm being biased, but I always use my own standard to judge him. So, and then same thing, other people do the same process. So in meditation, we want to learn, especially with Vipassana. The goal of meditation in Vipassana is to cultivate good quality of mind, which is wisdom. In order for wisdom to arise, you need to have to plant the seed of wisdom. And plant the seed of wisdom is that seed is non-self, like it's not me, not mine. It's just cause and effect. Until the mind learn many times, and then insight arise, you see that totally clear in the split second, but nobody can tell you you don't understand. You sure for self that is experience, there's no me, no mine. But right now, it's just the idea. But we need to plant the seed for it to grow up. So it's very scientific. Am I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. I relate and understand to your examples of conditioning, specific examples. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Craig. I wanted to just really quickly point into the chat. I put up some upcoming events. There's a 1 day with Sharon Salzberg and Krishna Das. There's a either 2 or 4 day retreat. You can do it either way with Pascal Auclair. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And if you want some more of Elsie's work, she's doing a 7-day Vipassana retreat with Melissa McKay. That's a little further in the future, but I put that in there since she spoke today. And Elsie, someone asked me privately in the chat about your Long Beach sitting group and if when it meets and if it meets on Zoom as well.
Okay, so thank you everyone. That lovely meeting with everybody today. And I'm so glad that I have a chance to meet you, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you so much. We're also going to do small breakout groups, everyone, like we always do afterwards. So meet back in about 10 minutes. I'm actually going to log out and log back in as host, because right now I can't put you in breakout groups. So if you get kicked out, come back on again. I'll let you back in. I'm just going to log right out and come back in on this computer. Look forward to breakout groups, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elsie. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Elsie, for teaching.
Thank you, Elsie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elsie.
Come back again.
Yes, hope so.